let's get that going. All right. There's like a 40-second delay, so I'm gonna let that catch up for a moment, and then we'll start the stream. I'm gonna get the chats ready. All right, I think we are live. So, hey, Dan here, and this is just going to be an okay live stream. I don't do a lot of these live streams because I'm never prepared. So that's why I just do the more structured editing. But yeah, we're just going to talk about my weekly moves, some things I'm finding success in, some interesting content that I found, and I'll answer some questions, so feel free to ask anything. It is for subscribers only, but there's no time limit. You just have to be a subscriber, and you can ask any question. So let's get into it, and starting off my latest videos this week, I did 2 of them. One on spam, which is this network token minting test on Sui, which I think is interesting. The token is still in an interesting early stage in a use case of converting Sui into spam transactions and having the value of that. Still kind of questionable to me, but we'll see where that goes. I'm not really investing a lot into it, but it is an interesting test. And I also did a video on Emoja, which does these synthetic crypto options. They're doing an airdrop as well, so I'm farming them for points. And they also sponsor some content. And I know sponsored content, it happens, but I try to make sure it's quality content, like it's substantial. And I try not to make it too in your face. You know, I was watching this gold versus Bitcoin, the biggest crypto debate in history, and they have some very big figures here, especially on the gold side, and then on the Bitcoin side. It was a tough watch. I don't watch a lot of crypto banter, just because, yeah, I do my own research, so I try to get information a lot faster this way. And this whole thing was just like an ad, you know, like text 0 to 505 and you know, you get gold. And then at the end of the video, which was also interesting, Peter Schiff, he was shilling his gold company like, oh, we also do that. And then Ran called him out like, hey man, we can't be doing this, we got a sponsor doing the exact same thing. It's like, well, I also do it. But you know, I make it sound more fun than it was. It was just a lot of interrupting each other. Just not gonna learn a lot from it, and it was 2 hours, so I kind of skipped around through there, and I saw this really good chat with the chopping block guys. This is one of my favorite podcasts, and Taron here, he was on a panel with the IO.net founder, and he kind of talks about the different answers the team was providing, that the people on this panel were providing quality answers except for one. And if you watch this whole thing, which is about 45 minutes or something like that, io.net, very, very questionable in quality. And if you are farming them or getting some kind of early participant thing, I would probably be in that short term. So that might be something for you to avoid. Oh, let me change this setting. All right. And yeah, they also went over the whole eigenlayer thing. There was some content from the Unchained podcast with Laura Shin. She had an interview with the eigenlayer folks, and they addressed the criticisms regarding their airdrop. So I'm really glad that the community is very vocal in crypto Twitter. They were calling Eigen a scam and just a lot of negative things, which is great because that got the eigenlayer team to increase the airdrop. So a lot of people got a very small amount of tokens for the eigenlayer airdrop, and a lot of people were excluded for it. So that was the biggest problem. So if you look for countries, they banned a lot of countries from claiming, Cuba, the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, so South Korea, of North Korea, of course, Myanmar, Laos, Pakistan, Mali, Afghanistan, Albania, Angola, Botswana, just so many different countries. It was pretty surprising. And the United States, of course. So getting that airdrop is going to be difficult. And they also said Eigen claims by any person detected to be using a VPN and similar proxy technologies will be ineligible. And if your airdrop is actually worth a significant amount, it might be worth it to travel to an eligible jurisdiction just to claim your airdrop. Let's see here. So I am getting 134 Eigen, and they're increasing that amount for all people that are participating in the airdrop. So plus 100 to whatever you got. So I was farming this on 2 accounts, and my second account only got like 12 Eigen. So yeah, this was a pretty significant change, and they are rewarding a lot of the smaller farmers that were participating. And they said something like 90% of the airdrop went to the top 2% of holders or something like that. So this is a better way of rebalancing everything. And additionally, there is Mitosis. Now, Mitosis is a layer 1 for liquidity, and I kind of just found this out, but if you go to mitosis.org, or if you find them on Twitter, that they're doing an airdrop too. They're doing a points campaign, and if you used EtherFi, you got a lot of points. If you were just holding an EtherFan for any amount, if you were using some of the EtherFi services, if you were using cross-chain applications, you got a lot of points. So I've made those basic requirements and got 70,000 Mitosis Expedition points. I don't know how much that is going to be worth, but it's nice. I didn't really do anything, and I got another airdrop. So that was pretty sweet. And if you want to check your eligibility, you have to go to the expedition.mitosis.org site. You have to connect your wallet, and then you have to hit check eligibility. Now, by clicking this, you have to connect your Discord, and then within the Discord, you have to verify your wallet, and then you can claim. So it's not super clear on all the additional steps, but once you do that, and have your connected wallet that has your EtherFan and EtherFi activity there, you should be able to claim a significant amount of points, and hopefully that'll be a decent airdrop. So that is mostly it, and I also started playing Eluvium, and let me bring up some of that stuff. So Eluvium is this game, and It's interesting. There's two different versions of it. You either play the arena or you play the overworld. And I found arena more interesting because it's more strategy based. While overworld is more, first person explore mode. But I didn't really enjoy this part too much because I get motion sickness if there's too much shakiness or if it's not smooth. I didn't really optimize it for my computer. And the thing is, you kind of run around, do these missions, and you catch these alluvials. Now, alluvials are things like this guy, so you have to catch them out in the wild. So these guys are just like minding their own business in a field, and the part of the quest is, hey, this guy's minding his own business, let's go mess him up and capture him. So not literally that's what they said, but that's kind of what you do. He's just like in the field grazing, and then you start chasing him, you shoot him, and as soon as he detects that he's in trouble, he starts running. And then you have to chase him down, and you have to keep shooting him until you can battle him in this arena type. So it is a mixture of two different games, and the arena side is an auto battler, and that might change in the near future. There were some hints at some upgrades, and I do prefer the RTS side, the real-time strategy of the arena battle cards, rather than the open world search for things side. It'd be fun if someone could play the overworld side for me and farm stuff. I'm not quite sure how the private open beta works as far as what's the best thing to do to earn the airdrop, and let me know in the comments if you got into that. There was a small allocation of people that could participate for the private beta, but when the public beta opens up for everyone that registered, then you'll be able to participate. So I'll do a little more research and figure out what's the best way to farm this. Alright, that's the emoji stuff. Here we got a question. Kylie F. What do you think about recent topping on X with Sui's token supply? Well, the price didn't crash. The supply of Sui did increase drastically as more of the tokens were unlocked for the team and investors. But you also have to remember that the investors invested in Sui at like a $2 billion market cap, and that's kind of where it is now. The fully diluted market cap is at 10 billion, and the tokens were released this week. So it was a pretty steady decline, and I believe it was May 2nd, and there hasn't been a significant decrease in price. I think Sui is still finding its footing. A lot of people are uncertain about, is the investors gonna dump, is the price gonna go lower, but I'm holding. I think a lot of the value comes from what's within the Sui ecosystem. You might find better opportunities there if you check DeFi Llama and see where the TVL is. You'll find the top protocols there, and that could be an opportunity if Sui starts picking up more TVL, if more people start joining their ecosystem. They had some steady growth over the last few months, even though the markets were kind of down and sideways. So I think this is overall still very positive news, and I think it really matters if you experience Sui. If you're in there and you like the transactions and how fast they are and how simple it is, I think that's where most of the money in DeFi is going to start moving to, if it can provide a better and safer experience. So it's still in its early stages, and even though the token unlocked for investors, I don't think they're gonna dump it. And a lot of the investors were more credible. You know, they had like, I think A16Z and some other big names where they're not known for dumping their tokens on retail users. Now, once you have the smaller no-name investors, then you take on a lot more risk that way, and those are the ones that dump like crazy. So steady price, you know, maybe they're taking some of their capital, maybe they're selling off a little. I don't know, it's hard to tell. A lot of the market has been sideways for the most part. You know, we had a big dip and recovery in Bitcoin in the last week, which wasn't that bad. I guess if you just didn't look at the markets for several days, we're pretty much where we are last week. So that's what I think. I don't know if you guys have any other questions, or I'm just gonna talk about some other stuff that I'm trying to think of right now. And I think most of the week I spent wasting time. Like a lot of people reach out to me, you know, maybe I'll help some people here. Maybe some protocols want to partner up, and then I waste time researching them and then realizing like, oh, this is questionable. This is very questionable, and this is not something I want to get involved with. And then that's after spending hours of research, having a chat with them, and then when I get the final details, I'm like, oh, this is not good. This is something to absolutely avoid. So maybe I'll make another video on things I avoid in crypto as an investor. And there's several things you also have to consider, you know, when watching content. Like, all right, what's in it for the influencer, me, and what's in it for you, you know? And that also goes for investing. When KOLs, like key opinion leaders, aka content creators, influencers, when they invest in certain protocols, sometimes they get into the KOL round, and sometimes that comes at a super high valuation. Maybe the YouTuber isn't that experienced and they join it, and then they have to invest in a coin at a super high valuation, and for them to just break even, they would have to dump the coin immediately while still having to promote that product. So you really have to be careful out there with like who you're watching. Try to understand their incentives, and you know, everyone, especially in a bull market, is going to try to make some money. Now, I'm not opposed to making sponsored content, but I have to qualify it first and, you know, find out like, all right, is this a real thing? Is this something that's going to be around for a while, or is this like a quick money grab? So that is, there's a lot of things to consider there, and I avoid a lot of different things that I think that might be overvalued. I avoid pre-sales. If I'm going into meme coins, that's incredibly short term and I wouldn't make any content on it. Maybe I'll mention it like, oh, maybe I'm trading some meme coins on this network just because there's a lot of momentum and a lot of money flowing into this ecosystem. Or, you know, other types of products where you make crypto passive income, and those are very risky when it comes to mining or nodes, especially nodes. Nodes have very little value. You have to find out if that business model actually makes sense and if there's demand. So I kind of feel bad that I wasted so much time not doing anything this week, and that's because of a lot of wasted research. But I think that might be able to help you guys in the future when you're trying to discover things like, oh, I can make so much money doing this, but the risk is you get dumped on. You buy something that is completely worthless, and maybe the team disappears, maybe they dump all their tokens, and then you're left with a big loss. So just things to consider. And if you have any other questions, drop them in the comments. I am watching them. I don't do a lot of live streams because I find them easy. Yeah, it's just a casual talk. I don't have to plan anything, but I also feel super unprepared. So feel free to ask what you can, and I'll try to answer it. Now, as far as investments, I didn't really do too much. This was kind of a down and sideways week. We had a big dip and then went sideways, but my long-term plans are pretty solid. I'm not day trading. That would be crazy, but I am still very long on the larger crypto positions of Bitcoin and Ethereum and points farming and looking for these airdrops. I think that's the biggest opportunity in crypto right now. Of course, there's a lot of small market cap coins. There's a lot of new projects popping up that are doing the same thing as other products. So that's when you have to be careful where, like, okay, maybe it could be valuable very short term, but maybe the team could just disappear and not do anything. I think last week there was this thing called ZK Casino. Didn't use ZK technology. It was just a fork of an existing blockchain, and then they rugged all the users. Or no, they converted their token. They converted their the people's ETH deposits into a useless token, and then said, here you go, and then bailed. So you really have to be careful, especially in a bull market, because everyone is going to overhype something, and that can be artificially generated, and then you lose money. So there's a lot of ways to lose money in a bull market, and you gotta be careful. All right, so questions. Let's see. Will Polkadot make a run this year or next? And what do you see for DOT 10 years from now? So I haven't used, well, actually, I still have some investments in the DOT and Kusama ecosystem. But the problem is, do you use it? Do you use Polkadot DeFi? I know they're moving to their 2.0. They plan to make it easier to use, but they don't really focus on the user experience. It is not pleasant to use their ecosystem. It is not super intuitive, and I just don't enjoy it. So the biggest problem is that there are more competitors now that have taken a larger market share, and all the protocols and incentives are on the more popular protocols. You know, like if you're building a game, maybe you're building a DeFi product, do you want to build it on Polkadot, or do you want to build it where like the major players are? Do you want to build it on Optimism, on Arbitrum, on Base, or on a move-based blockchain like Sui or Aptos? I think Movement Labs is a new project that is kind of gaining steam. I don't fully understand it, but I think they said they're bringing Move to EVM, so you can build securely and have parallel transactions with the EVM tool. So not 100% sure if that's actually it, but I just read a few lines on Twitter, and I think that might be one of the next big projects, because I think I saw that they had some big backers. So I gotta look into that, and I will. Let's see. Sweet content is good. I would love to hear your opinion on ICP. Is it too centralized? Possible KYC problems in the future with ICP. So I think ICP is pretty unique, and they do have some interesting products there. They have more decentralized applications launching this year. I thought it was pretty funny that the founder called most of crypto vaporware, and then people just roasted him. That was, yeah, you never want to be the main character, especially when you're still building. You want to be the main character when you're at the top of everything. So you got to be very careful there. Now, as far as ICP, there is merits to what they're building, but there are still a lot of challenges. There aren't any stable coins on there. So I have some investments in ICP, but there's no stable coins. I tried to sell some things. I was like, well, I could either hold this low market cap coin, or I could trade it for ICP, and then I'd have to move that out of their ecosystem. So there are still quite some challenges to their ecosystem as far as DeFi, but it could turn into something. I think they're still providing grants. They want to grow their ecosystem, and that's the biggest sign of growth. Like, is that ecosystem investing in itself to grow? And that's the projects those are the protocols that are going to grow the most, especially if there are incentives that brings in users, new people to test those products. So if you find something that is a good product, especially on an up and coming blockchain, that's going to have a lot of potential if it gets that momentum. So you really have to experience things. Oh man, my camera is getting too hot damn. Okay, I'm still here. I gotta cool down the camera. I gotta get a new camera, I guess. This is the Sony EV10, and it's too hot to use right now. But I'm still here. I'm talking, and yeah, damn. All right, what is your investment strategy in Sui, and what protocols do you use? So Sui is still in its early stages as far as protocols. You know, they have a few that have most of the TVL. I want to see that grow more. I am holding a few coins like Navex, Turbos. I'm farming on SuiLend, which is just this lending protocol. They haven't launched a token yet. I'm also in something called Elixir, and Elixir does liquidity for multi-chain, and they haven't launched a token yet, but I'm providing USDC on Sui to farm their airdrop. So I did make some content on that before. So I do have a handful of investments in the Sui ecosystem, and I mentioned it in some of my Sui videos, so maybe you might want to check those out if you haven't yet. What is your top AI coins, and what are you looking at? So I really don't know that much about AI. I've been burned in the past about that. All right, we're back. So as far as AI coins, besides Tau, that is probably my biggest investment. You know, I'm thinking of other coins like Render and Fetch that, you know, have some demand. I got into Tau because of my buddy CH. He made a video on it. I shared it in a YouTube post. So if you haven't seen that, it's pretty good. He kind of outlines the potential for it. But it really depends on the demand. Will people actually turn to decentralized AI, and what are they going to use? So the onboarding experience has to be very easy. I thought onboarding and just as a DeFi user on Tau wasn't the best, and I'm not even sure how they're going to do tokens, because right now it feels like just a blockchain like Bitcoin, where it doesn't really support other tokens. I'm not sure if that's the case, but I bought some Tau and I'm staking it for the potential airdrops for their subnets. I think there's like 28 subnets. If those start gaining traction and they launch a token, that brings value to Tau. Maybe it brings value to people staking. So I'm speculating there. If we're talking AI, everyone is hyped up about Tau. I have a small investment that I'm willing to lose there, and I'm going to see where that goes. Because if they actually start doing airdrops for stakers on Tau, then it's going to gain a lot of traction. Let's see. Portly. And what's your take on Lucky Cat Studio and Koban TGE on Sui? I don't know. I do not know what Lucky Cat Studio is. Maybe I should know. I'm going to take a look at Lucky Cat Studio. We are going to go to my X account and find what that is. If it's like NFTs and stuff, I'm not like a big NFT guy because that's too speculative for me. It's a tough game to play. Oh, Lucky Cat Studios. A metaverse game studio. Here's careers. Well, I guess if they haven't really launched yet, they're still at their early stages. Okay. Not super helpful on finding out what it is, but I'll look into it. If this is they have quite a bit of followers. Yeah, we'll figure out what that is. Step Finance is the dashboard from Solana. Have Sui a dashboard, please. Step Finance is a dashboard from Solana. Does Sui have a dashboard? I think if that's what you're asking, yes. Sui has an excellent dashboard. That is called Sui Vision. I like using Sui Vision. It's super clean. You know, you kind of see your portfolio, fullvaluedan.sui. What's in there, NFTs, transactions, everything is pretty smooth. Let's see, unknown coins. I made a video on like how to make a coin on Sui. I did not get a lot of coins. I just wanted to see if people would make stuff. So we got, I'm not sure if Meme was already there. That's a clone. That's not something I would really touch. We got Nancy, Aru, Peter, Pupo, WTT, prizes. C Dog Inu with hat. That is the one I made for fun. MLC, Hulk Coin Lug. So yeah, people made some coins there. Not a lot of people. People made some coins. And then, you know, this is kind of just your wallet dashboard. You can see funds on different decentralized applications, your supply, balance, rewards pending. Same thing with Cetus, Navi, Bucket, Sui staking. So just kind of have a handful of stuff. You know, this is one wallet. I got multiple wallets to de-risk and to make sure you guys don't track me. You know, that's another thing. All right. Thanks. I'm glad you guys enjoyed the content. What is your view on Crody? I'm gonna not to look that up. Normally when people comment that, probably not good. So I don't know what that is. Could be a meme coin. Could be another pump. You know, I'm always cautious about the scam comments. So, you know, not calling this one a scam comment, but I'm not going to specifically look into something that doesn't have a big reputation. So there's always a lot of risk in that and a lot of wasted time. Once you start looking into those smaller coins, it's a waste of time where it takes on the most risk. And, you know, those are the types of things that you want to be short term. Nothing is going to recreate the same success WIF had or Dogecoin or SafeMoon for its moments. You know, like once people find out about it, there's a limited amount of growth, and it's not a game you really want to play. It really hurts to lose a lot of money. So, you know, it takes a long time to learn long-term investing, value, and like where can you actually get the best yield with the lowest risk. I know it's crypto, always risk, tons of it, especially just connecting your wallet to things. Like when I set up my wallet for Mitosis, I was like, is this a real thing? Is this the real website? Is this a real company? Who else is connected their wallet? Let me check the comments. The comments are open, so if they were a scam, they could have been called out. And then I looked into their Discord and I was like, all right, seems legit enough. I connected my wallet. And you always have that risk of losing everything if you connect your wallet to something that is a scam. So that is a problem with EVM-based blockchains, where you connect your wallet and then you can lose everything in an instant. Whereas with object-based blockchains like Sui or Aptos, you own those objects. If you are going to move an object, then it's going to show your balance changing. And just by you connecting your wallet, that doesn't put your wallet at risk. You don't get drained. And I think that's why Sui has a strong chance of bigger adoption. And, you know, they're doing the Sui Play 0x1. They're allowing people to create a wallet with their Twitch account. So I think there's a lot of potential there. So we'll see in the next year, especially if the investors don't dump. So I'm hoping for the best, though, because I am an investor. All right, I guess that's it. Other stuff, Retail DAO, that is starting to pick up speed. If you want to contribute to it, I think I guess I'll leave a link to it later. And, you know, they're still looking for people that are qualified to do things, as far as maybe make memes, be a social media manager, just whatever you can bring to the table. And then soon after, and once everything is set up, would love to have everybody that are in the comments, everyone that watches the video, join Retail DAO. That's going to be open to everyone. And there's going to be airdrops. There's going to be airdrop seasons. And the value of the coin is pretty much just like how newsletters or communities make money that way. It's just like, you know, you sell the audience to the advertisers. Like, all right, we got a big audience, we got this community, they want to earn something, you can advertise to them, they get something. And that is pretty much the basic idea of it, while also sharing research and like things you're trading. So I just shared like what I'm doing this week, and then if I did that in Retail DAO and people thought it was good, then I would be rewarded for it. So that is the premise of Retail DAO, coming soon. Obviously not something you need to invest in, and that's why I think it's going to provide a lot of value. Unlike my Discord, which I kind of just gave up on, I really don't want to manage anything. You know, the team is just me, Dan, as far as making content, just because I tried the team thing, and you know, once you got people on the payroll, you're more likely to take on advertising that you're not comfortable with, and just to pay their salaries. So that's not a great situation to be in, and that's why, you know, I can see why some people really take on a lot of advertisements. I'm not sure if you've seen anything that is crypto and a podcast, because they have the most advertisements you'll ever see. All right, any other questions? Camino Finance. Now, I've heard of them, but I've never used them. Let's take a quick look at what that could be. Oh, let's see. Camino Finance, lending. Oh, yeah, this is on Solana. I haven't used them. I use other stuff on Solana. I think I use Orca and Radium and some other stuff. Let me see. I'm gonna hide my screen for a second as I go to my Solana profile. So yeah, also use Drift. Kind of just save everything here. I'm not really doing too much in Solana, so yeah, I can't really speak much about it. But you know, if there's a lot of TVL here, and it looks like there is 112 million. 55 million in JLP. I mean, it's a significant marketplace. They have a lot of funds there. Let's see. How high can Arrow go? I don't know. So that is a great question. I do not. That's one of the tokens I don't invest in. I don't invest in any kind of lending token, just because they don't do well long term. So we're going to take a look at a couple. We are in CoinMarketCap, and you know, let's look at PancakeSwap. You know, they've been one of the biggest dexes in a long time, and their token, you know, it just kind of goes sideways just because there isn't enough utility. There isn't enough profits going to buying back or burning the token. And, you know, Arrow had that huge pump because it got listed on Coinbase, but I don't think it's going to continue going up, because that is just the reality of their token. I really don't know that much about their tokenomics, and my camera overheated again, and maybe that's why I don't do live streams, because my camera can only go for about 30 minutes without overheating, and I guess I gotta get a new camera. All right, so I'm gonna keep talking though, so hang out. And yeah, this is Aerodrome Finance, and I haven't looked into their tokenomics, but the reality of these Dexcoins is they never do well over time, no matter how well, you know, the performance is. So we can even look at other things. Let's say 1 inch. Just, you know, they still have a lot of money, and they're still marketing. People use their exchange, but as for token holders, it doesn't really go anywhere, and you really got to look for these similar products as an example to where maybe your coin might go. Let's see, what else is there? And I mean, there's Uniswap. That is a slightly different scenario, but again, it's not gonna make you rich. It's more risky holding it. It might be a good coin to provide liquidity to, because you can make profit on it going sideways and making money from those trading fees, but it doesn't do well long term. Now, I did say I'm holding some of these like Dexcoins on SWI, and that's just because I think their ecosystem is still undervalued compared to the SWI token, which is in the billions of market cap, while their smaller protocols are in the tens of millions. So that is a huge difference, and I'm gambling on the future performance of their network. So when looking at Arrow, I would consider the same thing, like what will really drive demand for the token to go up in price. Look at their tokenomics. Are they burning tokens? Are they buying back? What are they doing with their revenue? Are people using their token? So those are things to consider. Personally, this isn't something I would hold long term. They are at a $500 million market cap. I think there are better opportunities out there when it comes to crypto investing. Hey Dan, do you mine crypto or run any nodes? Oh, maybe you missed the part earlier where I actually talked about nodes, and nodes, they don't do well. They don't do well long term because most of the time they don't have any purpose. You know, there's no real purpose. There's no demand for it. And it's kind of just a way for early investors to make a lot of money and then get out quickly. So there is profitability in there, but it's not something I would ever recommend unless there is enough demand. I actually talked to someone about nodes yesterday, and they were trying to pay me thousands of dollars to make sponsored content for them, and 20%. They told me that someone who had 4,000 subscribers was promoting them. It's been over a month. They made $100,000 on it, and there was just so much money that they were throwing around, and I was like, where is the value you guys are going to provide? Because for the business model like that is not going to be profitable. Like if the nodes go up in price every time someone buys it, you know, there's a limit to that because someone has to buy the node to perform the service, and is that service worth it? Because there's a lot of services that do the same thing completely for free. So I'd be careful with that. I do mine some crypto, and I don't do that directly. I use fraction mining. That's by Tactical Investing. You could check out his YouTube video. He specializes in a lot of mining. He opened up the fraction mining operation where he's mining NFTs, he's mining Bitcoin, he's mining Cadena, he's mining a lot of other different coins, and then you can buy shares of it through NFTs, and then you have that ownership, and you just plug in your address, and then you get the mining rewards every month. It's pretty easy. I think that is another safer way to invest in crypto over time, where you don't have as much risk, just because if you are long term, even through the bear markets, you're stacking the whole time. So that's how I currently mine crypto. What do you think of Turbos? Did you meet the team? I did meet the team. They were very nice. They gave out scarves at SWI base camp, which was in Paris, and Paris was cold. It was very cold. It was like 8 Celsius. I'm so into Celsius now because that's what everyone uses outside of the US. So yeah, good enough scarf. They went kind of cheap on the quality of the shirt. You know, it's a shirt I would wear if the quality was higher, and I think that's the biggest mistake at crypto conventions. You give me a low quality shirt, I'm never gonna wear it. I actually just got like 2 very high quality shirts from BitGet, and they're like very nice. They're very nice. Those are shirts I'm gonna wear. They also want me to make content for them, but you know, that's a motivator for me. It's like, oh, this is a nice shirt. I'm gonna wear this shirt. Something breathable and durable. So yeah, that's probably not the answer you wanted. What do you think about Turbos? So Turbos, yeah, it works well. You know, they don't have a lot of competition. I think the user interface could improve. It's a very unprofessional. I want like a more professional thing, but they have great tools. They have great products. So let's take a quick look. I'm gonna open up my SWE portfolio, we're going to go to Mitosis Finance, and we're going to go over this real quick. So, you know, they have a lot of different things, and it's kind of simplified, but I think, you know, if they had a more professional look, it would be a lot nicer. You know, if you are providing liquidity, it shows you your estimated APR, but it's also on the back end, it's taking out the complications of a range. So when you're doing like concentrated liquidity, this is another DeFi tool where you want a smaller price range, and whenever the price of your tokens trade within that range, you earn trading fees. So the tighter range you have, the more you earn from the people trading. So they'd have the concentrated liquidity built in, and they actually just launched this thing, CLMM, Concentrated Liquidity Market Maker, where it manages your position for you, so you always have that tight range. Now, the problem is you're competing with everyone else that's also using the same tool, but if we had that on other blockchains, or if trading volume picked up, then this could be incredibly valuable. So I think they're one of the market leaders right now in SWE with these tools. I haven't used that specifically yet, but I will. So I'm still catching up. A lot of things happening on crypto. Other questions. Games on SWE, NFTs. Games are still in its early stages. I played some MOBA style game at SWE Basecamp that I liked. But it's still in its very early stages, nothing super public yet. I played Panzer Dogs, which is not bad. It's a fun game. I think that's one to play. Let me bring that up. So, yeah, it's loading, but it's a tank battler game. It's, you know, MOBA, multiplayer online battle arena. Not bad. I have quite a bit of NFTs on SWE. I think some are undervalued, and I got some at a pretty good deal. I'm using a Tradeport. So here we go. We go to SWE Vision at the top. I have 97 NFTs. 54 credible. 43 I don't know. Oh yeah, these are my .SWE domains. Carrier 1 early adopter. So there might be there is going to be an airdrop for these, so that's why I picked some of these up when they were cheap. And I got in the SWEland beta. So yeah, I'm holding carrier pigeons, puppy bears, which is I think a product of, I can't remember. Sometimes I just buy them if I think it's undervalued. And if you go to Tradeport, which is an NFT marketplace for SWE, Near, and Stacks, you can filter by blockchains. You can see what's trending right now, and Cosmocadia is at number 1. I have one footy. I have an egg. I don't have this one. I have carrier pigeons, carrier 1, SWE friends, just because there were some things there was a campaign earlier in the year where you needed SWE friends, so I was like, all right, let me mint a couple of these. But yeah, I don't have a lot of these, but I am speculating. And it is pretty good, the Tradeport marketplace. It's really easy to use. Let me see. I put in different bids. So, you know, I put in a bid of 13, and let's see what the floor price is, if that was a good deal or not. So sometimes I just bid the floors for a lot of different projects just to see if I can get a good price. And I guess, yeah, not bad, even though there was one under that. But yeah, I buy NFTs sometimes when I'm bored, if I see some value there. Now, these are all small amounts. I don't think it's going to really make you a lot of money. But sometimes when there's an airdrop or talks about it, I want to get in early. I want to have those NFTs, and a lot of these projects don't have tokens yet, but they have NFTs, so that could potentially lead to something. All right. So, yep. Why SWE didn't give any token for test token we claimed before SWE token launching and my testnet NFTs. So, I don't know about that. I can't talk. I mean, I can talk about it, but I wasn't involved. I can't speak for the team. I actually did not participate on the testnet. I know a lot of people absolutely feel burned, but you know, it doesn't make the blockchain bad. Like if you think it's a good user experience and there's some quality products there, then it still has potential, even though the market cap is high, even though they didn't provide an airdrop to the early test users, which were very valuable. But a lot of products within their ecosystem have been providing, you know, NFTs, airdrops, or different campaigns. So that might be another way to get involved, even though you didn't really get that testnet to mainnet initial airdrop launch tokens. All right, which is better, Scallop or Navi? I think they do slightly different things. I like Navi's interface a lot better. You know, Scallop, I use them too. So it's really hard to tell. Navi, they both have tokens, so there's probably no airdrop anyway. It's just like whatever you think or whatever is showing better yield at the time for whatever you're getting involved with might be good. Hey Dan, what do you think about Glimmer and PDEX? Now Glimmer, I believe that is a token on, I know that because I think their pair token is Moonbeam. So let's take a quick look at that. I'm gonna bring up token market cap, coin market cap, GLMR. Yeah, it's Moonbeam. So with Moonbeam, oops. Let's see. Oh yeah, this is dead. Flatline. I believe Moonbeam brings EVM to, what is it? Polkadot? Is that what it is? But you know, with a chart like that, let me see. 1 year. I mean, they had some traction recently. You know, newer blockchains, newer applications keep popping up. I wouldn't really bet the bank on this, but I don't really have that much information. I try to find out like what's trending. You know, if you actually use Moonbeam and you think they're growing and they're funding their ecosystem to grow even more, maybe it has a lot of potential. Like you have to find out how much their treasury is, how much is their war chest, how much are they reinvesting, so protocols build there, they incentivize users to go, and people like the experience. So if you're actually a DeFi user on Moonbeam and like it, and you see growth, then it could be good. If you don't see that, I would run. I would look for something else. PDEX, I've heard about that. I don't think they ever got that much traction, even though they've been around for years. So, you know, it's a new bull market, new opportunities, many short term, and that's when you have to start to de-risking. But I think we still have like a year of rocky bullishness left, so hopefully things continue going up for everybody. Steve T, I'm invested in the Pulse Chain network. What are your thoughts about that? It's not good. If you follow Eric Wall, he is very anti-Pulse Chain with good reasoning behind it. And, you know, it's like, do you trust Richard Hart? Do you use his blockchain? Do you see value there? I think one of the biggest criticisms is that they don't invest in it. There's no grads. There's no one building there. And the only people that are building projects, at least this is what I hear, are other scam projects. So I would broaden your exposure to other blockchains, to maybe jump into DeFi, see if it's something you like, and just have a broader perspective. You know, you got to use other blockchains, see what people are building, see where the money is flowing to, and, you know, sometimes you got to cut your losses. If it's just 10%, try like 10%, use that 10% in another blockchain, and then it makes it easier. I know it's hard to sell everything at once, but it's a hard thing to learn. So a small amount at a time. I don't have any high hopes of Pulse Chain. I would go where like people are investing their money. So, you know, it's tough. I'm sorry. What do you think about SwePad or Launchpads in general on Swe? I don't know SwePad specifically. I wasn't familiar with that. I'm against all Launchpads. No, do not invest in anything that is a Launchpad. They never perform well. There might be a handful, maybe like 2, but if you can look at any launchpad that has been successful, let me know. Let me know, like, because it's such an easy business model. People can fork any launchpad, and then they just say, hey, we got this team, you can get an allocation in it, and then maybe that allocation ends up being very weak, or all crappy projects launch there, and it never does well. So I would avoid launchpads completely. They never perform well, and look for more substantial products. Now, the thing is, the projects that launch on launchpads are always very low quality, because they can always get grants very easily if it is a real project. If they have the experience, if they have the team, they can get grants very easily from any blockchain, because blockchains will pay developers to bring their applications over to their blockchain so they have more users. So launchpads just don't make sense. I know they want to say, like, okay, so the community can invest in it, so it's not all VCs, but VCs, like quality VCs, they do their homework, they have that experience, and they don't invest in launchpads because they never do well. Any perp exchange to farm with low fees and max pairs? I don't know. Yeah, I can't give you an answer on that. I don't really fee farm. But maybe that could be a thing I should look at, because I know some people do that and they do pretty well. Oh, Panzer Dogs is from Lucky Cat. Well then, yeah, I guess I do invest in Lucky Cat Studios. I have a few Panzer Dogs. What do you think of Grass Airdrop? So let's look at that. Hold on. Camera has overheated again. I am gonna have to get another camera. So hang on there. I'm gonna keep talking so you guys hear me. Get grass. Here. Earn a stake in the AI revolution. Get paid for your unused internet. I'm gonna say right off the bat, I don't like it. It could be a real product. I gotta really use it and figure it out. This doesn't really seem like something I personally need. I think a lot of people have unlimited internet, so I'm not quite sure what they're building, and I would have to look into it more. But it's really, I'm trying to be polite here, because I don't want to be completely wrong and then get roasted later. So I'm trying to gracefully say, like, this isn't something I'm interested in, and that's what it is. So, stuff like this, like if you can get incentivized for it without an investment, awesome, absolutely do that. If you have to invest money or buy hardware, I'd be a little more skeptical, and try to figure out what the demand is. So yeah, we can look at the FAQs. Grass is a network over 2 million people who are rewarded for helping AI developers access the internet. Its goal is to prevent the concentration of AI by allowing people to play a part and share in the benefits of its growth. So that, I think, is incredibly hard to justify and track. So it's AI models. I want to be skeptical on this. I think it's best to be skeptical and safe rather than losing money. But if you can get involved for free, go for it. Injective has lost a lot of steam lately. And I think that's just because there's so many airdrops, there's so many incentives on other blockchains that it's waiting out its moment right now. So we'll have to see more. I haven't been following too much of Injective, so yeah, maybe I'll let you know in another time, or if someone can point me in the direction of content that is gonna catch me up on what's going on in Injective. Could you please share your thoughts on Kujira? Kujira. Yeah, let's find out what Kujira is. So hold on, let me look up Kujira, and it's best to start on Twitter, and we're gonna look for Kujira, Team Kujira, I'm following them, and I haven't engaged with their content, so I haven't seen anything in a while. A decentralized ecosystem for protocols, builders, and Web3 users seeking sustainable fintech. Kuji and Usk. Let's see, Kujira Network. Let's see, Sonar Wallet, public beta. Let's see, powering decentralized economy for everyone. So this is a DEX. Trying to figure this out right now. Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, looks like a good product. Looks like it's in the Cosmos ecosystem. Yeah, I don't really have an opinion on them. I haven't used them, and it looks like a pretty beefy product. But let's take a look at the token price of a $220 million market cap. Gained a lot of traction in the last few months, and then on this recent pullback, a lot of pain, but seems like it's having some traction. I'd have to really look into it and see what it's doing differently. Otherwise, maybe they are the DEX and the DEX of the Cosmos ecosystem. I don't know. I'm not too involved there just because there's so many blockchains. All right, I think my camera has cooled down. Turning this back on. Thanks for hanging out to empty video. All right, I'm back. All right, yeah, I'm gonna get a new camera just because I don't like when this happens. All right. Hey Dan, how can SWI have massive potential when its market cap is already 2.5 billion? Well, that's the thing, like market caps can change very quickly if you think there's enough traction with their blockchain, if people will continue to use it, if the TVL will continue to grow, and if they are just different enough from the EVM chains to start taking that market share. Now, I personally think they are doing something different than other blockchains. When it comes to layer 2 blockchains, they're all competing for the same DeFi users. You know, like, oh, we have these products, come here, but no one's bringing in new users. And to bring in new users, you have to build something different, something that people want to use. And I'm hoping the SWI Play 0x1 is one of those products. The SWI wallet allows you to set up a crypto wallet in 1 or 2 clicks using your Google account or your Twitch account. And I think they're really trying to target the younger generation because the older generation is really tough to change, to adapt new technology, and I think that's what SWI specializes in. They specialize in a good user interface, in something intuitive, simplifying the process, and building tools that could attract the larger audience. So I'm hoping mass adoption happens with their gaming device, with maybe some other games or NFT projects. So that's what I see different when it comes to SWI. And if you're looking at a $2.5 billion market cap now, I mean, their market cap's really about $10 billion if you're looking at fully diluted. But if you look at BNB Chain or Solana and their users, SWI has a very good chance. So that's why I'm invested in it. So I'm hoping for the best too. Have you heard Copy Metaverse Gaming? I have not. Metaverse and gaming, that's always a tough sell. Not a lot of people make good games that you want to play every day. Eluvium, they invested so much money into it. It's super high quality, and they're incentivizing people to play with millions of dollars. So that could be one of the biggest games coming up. But as far as Web3 games go, I love a very simple game, you know, something that I can casually pick up, and that's Pirate Nation. I've been playing Pirate Nation like every week, not every day, but like at least every week, where if I'm just watching a video on YouTube and it's very technical and I just want to do something to pass the time while I'm waiting for all the important points, I just play Pirate Nation, and it's a simple interactive game. So they are also having an airdrop. I have 2 accounts, and I should have really just had 1 because they have a multiplier bonus. And I know this is very zoomed in. Okay, I can't zoom out too much. Let's and you know, you can go around. It is a little interactive. It's simple. I get motion sickness if the game is too first persony and choppy, so I don't have good experiences with those games. This game, super simple to pick up. I think this is one of those mass adoption games, and I play it pretty frequently with their gauntlets, and these change every day. I know I don't want this to really be a full Pirate Nation video, but I just kind of want to showcase the gameplay and how simple it is. Let me change that. And you know, it's just a battle game. You have these cards, your decks, you can change them around. It depends on your pirate, and then your pirates level up over time. They get more cards. It's super simple, very easy to play. Doesn't take too much thinking, you know. You kind of know what you want to do very easily. I just want to attack, draw, counter, then end my turn. Everyone has different like types that they might be sensitive to, where maybe something is based on their elements. So Pirate Nation, best Web3 game I've ever played. Super easy, makes it casual. You don't really have to invest a lot of time. You can just play a quick round and then you're out. So that's the type of games I'm looking for, and I think that's the type of game that would get mass adoption, where you have like old retired person and like, I just want to try something, like, oh, this looks cute, play it, keep it casual. All right, so moving on. Other questions. Same question as Kuji. Next injective. I gotta look into those. If you guys can tag me on Twitter with like something to catch me up on, I can do a little research and prepare some thoughts. Cat coin. People think cats are going to be the next meme coin, and if enough people think it, it could be. So we might have our next wave of cat-related meme coins, but again, short term. Steve T, thanks for your input. I'll leave what I got and look for other things. All right. Many people say grass is a phishing scam. Okay. Yeah, grass is a password grabbing scam. Thank you for mentioning that. I mean, when you say AI and a lot of things you can't really verify, and maybe you're getting tokens and they're not tradable, or yeah, it's I'd caution on the safe side for that. So yeah, I've heard of grass, but I haven't heard anyone like really look into it, at least from the contents I follow. So stay safe out there. Like, question it. Question everything. See if it makes sense. And when it comes to AI, there's a lot of scams. Make some airdrop website. Me? I don't really make websites or make airdrops. But there might be an airdrop for Retail DAO, which we talked about earlier. Is Sweat the correct wallet from Sui? So there are a few. Man, I've been talking for an hour. And low on liquid. So this is a coffee cup I have. It's just Guangxi Township. It's this small town in northern Taiwan. And I thought this would be a interesting cup to have because, yeah, now people know I went to the Guangxi Township office one time. All right. Sweat is a wallet from Sui. It works well. It is legitimate. But the official wallet is the Sui wallet, and that is by the Mistin Labs team. Sometimes I like using Sweat. I think is a little better for certain things, where you can scroll through the different transactions that are happening in the background. So I like both, but some applications work much better with Sui Wallet than it does with Sweat, so I'm mostly on Sui Wallet. And Sui Wallet has a mobile version too now, so that's pretty clean. I use that. Why don't you do the YouTuber face in thumbnails? Oh, I think it's super cringy. I'm old enough to still have shame, and I try not. Even though it does get clicks, and you know it is a proven thing, I have shame. So I'm okay being poor, but still having some pride. So like maybe I'll throw one in, and maybe that'll just be as an inside joke to the people that happen to be in this chat right now. But yeah, I don't do the YouTuber face. I get lazy with the thumbnails too. I just repurpose the same thing now, and it works. I guess the audience knows Dan does not make very creative thumbnails, and this is his. Yeah, this is absolutely his video. I have done some research on Dymo and Fala. Fala? Is that? I don't know about that name. Kuchi launched on Luna, and they also crashed, but they have risen from the dust, and now they are building one of the strongest ecosystems, and they have zero inflation. Okay, yeah, and it looks like a pretty beefy Dex with a lot of different tools, and the interface looks very clean. It's definitely a product that has money invested in it, just from me glancing on it, because I've seen a lot of projects that are like really cheap forks of others, and they just have no UI really built into it. So might be something to look into. I know the Cosmos ecosystem has been gaining a lot of traction lately with like newer projects joining and airdrops, but I'm not in that ecosystem. I think I'm mostly on Sui and Base and sometimes Arbitrum. But otherwise, it's really not convenient to be involved with too many chains just because of all the different content you have to follow. What is Bitcoin token? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that. So be careful. I don't speak Chinese. I don't read it. I live in Taiwan. It's very difficult. But yeah. I enjoy the food a little too much. And unfortunately, some of the sidewalks kind of suck, so it's hard to walk around. So I don't walk around, especially during summer. It's hot. Right now we're in the 6 months of summer, and it's going to be hot for a while. On-chain alpha, my pirates level up, but button frozen at level 5. What's the deal? I think, I don't know if this is a real issue, or it might be something you're missing. You might be missing gold. So you need gold to level up your pirate, and if you don't have enough pirate gold or marks, then you can't level them up. So the button is just going to be like grayed out. I hope that answers your question, and hope that was the problem. You just have to farm more marks or gold, whichever the case is, because first you have marks, but once you buy the trading pass or you get your command rank to 10, then that converts to all pirate gold. So it should be marks if you're still an early user. All right, that catches up to everything, and I hope this was helpful. We had an hour-long chat. It was nice for you guys to show up. For me, it's like 10 o'clock at night, and gotta take a break and call it a night. And I have to refill my beverage from Guangxi Township, the #1 township office in Taiwan. Yeah. Hope you guys can all make it there and stop by the government office and get one of these cups. All right. So with that, I hope you got some value for today. And I didn't make this. This is just a generic 3-minute countdown timer with voice. Voice is muted. But I have to play this out because I think there's like a 40-second to 2-minute gap between me talking and the actual video ending. So you might miss my outro. So, all right. Thanks for chatting. If this was helpful, let me know in the video comments, and maybe I'll do this again next week. Maybe prepare some questions and I can look into it and give a thorough answer on the live stream. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out, and see you next week.